Hey everybody, we're going to be reviewing how to do long division today. Just a reminder, the quotient is the answer to a division problem, remainder is the leftover, and then here's what our setup looks like. Our dividend is on the inside, and then we have our divisor on the outside. The divisor is the number that's going into the dividend. So it would read dividend divided by divisor equals your quotient. So let's get started. The first problem is 409 divided by 4. Now, if you remember from earlier this year when we did long division, the first thing you need to do is set up your problem. So before you can start, we need to write our steps of long division on the left. So D for divide, M for multiply, S for subtract, and B for bring down or bring back up. So we have divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, or up. Don't you forget your division dance that we learned earlier this year. And then on the right side of the problem, we're going to list our multiples of our divisor. So we're going to list our multiples of 4. You only have to go to the 9th multiple. So you're going from 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, all the way to 4 times 9. So you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. So 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, and so on. Don't forget, this is how many times that divisor is going to go into your dividend. So your first step in long division is to divide. That means you say to yourself, how many times does my divisor go into my dividend? So you start with that first digit. So how many times does 4 go into 4? You can make 4 go into 4. You remember you want to have an even amount of times, so it has to go in evenly without a remainder. So I come to my list, and I look through, I want to get as close to my divisor, so 4, as I possibly can. Remember, it can be 4, it just can't go higher than the divisor. So I get to my list, and I'm going to circle 4, because as close as I can go to 4 is 1 time. So 4 goes into 4 1 time. Then I'm going to check, because that's my first step. I've divided. Now my second step is multiply. Remember, you always multiply across the outside. So 4 times 1 is 4. Since we've only used this one digit, this is where my 4 goes. So I'm going to check my multiplying step because I've done that. Now you're on subtraction. So 4 minus 4 equals 0. Check, you've done it. Now you're on bring down. Remember, you can only bring one digit down at a time. So you just bring the next one in your problem. So I'm going to bring down this 0 and put it right next to where my subtraction answer was. Now I have a new dividend. My new dividend is 0. So now I'm thinking to myself, how many times does 4 go into 0? So I'm going to come to my list, and I'm going to get as close to 0 as I can without going over. Well, I can't do that. So that answer would be 0 times. 4 goes into 0, 0 times. Check, because that's your division step. 0 times 4 equals 0. Subtract. 0 minus 0 equals 0. Check subtraction. And then bring down. Now I need to bring this 9 all the way down. And then check bring down. Remember, you always repeat these steps. If you have 3 digits in your dividend, you repeat these steps 3 times. So now I'm looking at 9 for my dividend. So now you're thinking to yourself, how many times does 4 go into 9? So come back over to your list and get as close to 9 as you can without going over. I'm going to put a triangle around number 8 so you can see it. 4 goes into 9. 1, 2. 2 times. 4 goes into 9 2 times. Check for your division. Now you're on multiply again. So 2 times 4 equals 8. Now we're subtracting. 9 minus 8 equals 1. And now I bring down. I don't have any more digits to bring down, but I do have a leftover here. I have a remainder. So I need to bring this remainder up to the top. And then I write R for remainder, 1. And now I can X next to that B because I don't have anything left to bring down. Now this means 409 divided by 4 equals 102 remainder 1. Do a quick check of your list. I have 3 digits in my dividend. I have 3 check marks next to each of these steps, so I know I've completed every round of long division. Now we're going to look at another problem. Let's look at 700 divided by 9. So just like the last problem, you need to list your DMSB on the side, your checklist. And then on the right, we're going to write our multiples of our divisor. Our divisor in this case is 9. Remember, you only have to go to the 9th multiple. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. So this is 9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, all the way to 9 times 9. Now our first step is division. Remember, every time you're on division, you're thinking to yourself, how many times does my divisor go into my dividend? Start with 1 digit at a time. So now I'm thinking to myself, how many times does 9 go into 7? I come to my list, and I want to get as close to 7 as I can without going over. I can't do that. 9 times 1 is already higher than 7, so 9 does not go into 7. 9 goes into 7 0 times. Check for division because you've done your division. 0 times 9 for multiplication. You're always multiplying across the outside. So 9 times 0 is 0. Check for multiplication. Now we're on subtraction. 7 minus 0 is 7. Check. Bring down. Remember, you can only bring 1 digit down at a time, so I bring down that next 0, and I check. Now I come back up, and I repeat. So I'm back at divide. 70 is my new dividend. So now I'm trying to find out how many times 9 goes into 70. So come to your list of multiples and get as close to 70 as you can without going over. And I'm at 63 because 72 would be too high. Then count how many times that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 goes into 70 7 times. Check division because that was your second round of division. Now multiply. 9 times 7 is 63. Subtract. 70 minus 63 equals 7. Check subtraction. And now I'm going to bring down. I have another 0 I need to bring down. Check for bring down. Notice you only have 2 check marks, but 3 digits in your dividend, so you need to do this one more time. You have to go all the way from divide to bring down again. Your new dividend is 70, so you do the same thing. How many times does 9 go into 70? Come to your list. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Check your division step. 7 times 9 is 63. Check for multiply. Now we're subtracting. 70 minus 63 equals 7. And now bring down. I don't have anything left to bring down, but I do have a remainder that I must bring to the top. If you do not bring your remainder to the top, your quotient will not be correct. So I need to bring up the 7. R for remainder, 7. So my quotient for 700 divided by 9 is 77, remainder 7. Let's do one more. We'll do a shorter one. Now we're going to do 93 divided by 3. So just like last time, you want to put your DMSB on the left side. And then on the right, you're going to list your multiples of your divisor. Your divisor is 3, all the way to the 9th multiple. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and 27. All right, your first step is divide. So you think to yourself, how many times does my divisor go into my dividend? Start with the first digit. How many times does 3 go into 9? Come over to your list. You're trying to get as close as you can to 9 without going over. Remember, I just don't want to go over. It can be 9, I just don't want to go higher than 9. Now you need to count how many times that is. 1, 2, 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And check for division. Now you're on multiply. 3 times 3 equals 9. Now we're subtracting. 9 minus 9 equals 0. Now we're on bring down. I bring my 3 down. Now I can check. I'm not done yet. I have 2 digits in my dividend, but I only have 1 round of check marks, so I bring it back to the top and I start with division again. My new dividend is 3. So now I think to myself, how many times does 3 go into 3? Come to your list and get as close to 3 as you can without going over. And that is 1 time. So 3 goes into 3 1 time. Check for division. 1 times 3 equals 3. Now we're on subtraction. 3 minus 3 equals 0. Now we're on bring down. I don't have anything left to bring down, and I also don't have anything to bring up because I do not have a remainder. So my quotient for 93 divided by 3 equals 31. Remember, you always need to go through your 4 steps all the way to the end to make sure you finish the problem completely.